That was a false positive. Hold on.
Okay.
I didn't turn on my lights.
Oh.
So I'm just sitting in the dark. What the hell is that? Oh, that's the mic stand. I was like, what the hell is that? All right, now let's go for real now.
Okay.
I'm probably going to keep all this because this is funny. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of Behind the Blind. This is Sleepy McGeefy and with me.
And this is Adira. I'm also very sleepy, but
Yes.
every time I hear it, I just want to start singing.
There's
With the
Sleepy Dita 4000.
I am very
And we are all very sleepy.
It's very
and tired.
late. The kids are sleeping.
It's super late. It's the night before we're supposed to upload.
It's super late, but we've been so busy with all the Ramadan stuff that
Yeah, and we don't even know what to talk about today, so we're just gonna talk about a bunch of random stuff.
yeah, like how I just want to keep, like I just want to start singing with the intro. Like,
Yeah. So they just wants to go.
right.
It seems with so much happening.
Starts with a little humming thing first.
Right.
So that's what I want to
true.
go for.
That's what you want to do. I mean, it's a great song.
Thanks.
It's a great song. You guys should check it out. Good song.
It's called This Moment.
Yes. Good song. Yes. Very good song. Why is my thing so loose?
What?
My mic dealy. Holy crap. Okay, there you go. It's good now. So, wife, how was your day?
Very busy.
What busied up your day today?
So I had to refill the kids' Ramadan jars.
Yes. Did we talk about Ramadan jars on here? I think we did.
Yeah. That's one
Yeah.
of the things we do. They get the little treat.
They get a little treat
We
every
read a
single
book.
day of Ramadan.
You know, with their little book, with a story or book.
And
that
we read a story
Yeah, we talked
every
about
day
it.
of Ramadan. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
fun.
So much so that like,
Oh,
what
yeah,
was
that's
it?
right. Last week I said
What was
if your Ramadan is boring, I'm sorry.
Yeah. What was it? Yesterday? You were in an actual, like a meeting or
So
something
yesterday
like that?
what was I doing? Oh, I think I was in a live stream. Was
No,
it?
you were in a meeting doing something with thumbnails and things like that. And like,
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
right. I was working
the
with
kids would not-
with our friend Friendly Muslim.
Right.
Shout out to
And the-
Friendly Muslim.
the kids would not do the jars and the story without you. So we had to do it after we broke our fast.
Wait. Can I comment on Friendly Muslim a little bit? So Friendly is in the UK. Friendly's awesome, by the way. But Friendly, he doesn't get on camera. He's a cartoon character.
Real quick.
What?
What if I would have just said no and then kept talking?
I would have let you finish, and then I would have said something.
Because you asked, it's like, and I just.
That's what would have happened.
Okay,
I would have let
continue.
you finish, and then I would have been like, all right, you can I say something now?
Can I finish?
Can I finish? Can I
Okay.
finish? What is that from?
Oh, now you have to figure it out.
What is that from? Can I finish? Can I finish? Oh, that was the Canadian in
From
South
South
Park. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Charles Bootman, head of the WGA, the World Canadian Bureau.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
That wasn't from that though.
No, it wasn't.
That was
That's,
from the movie.
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, continue. So Friendly, he's awesome, right? That's what
So
you're saying.
Friendly's awesome from the UK. Is my phone? No, it was my watch.
I don't even know where my phone is. That's
That's all right.
By the
It's
way,
too
it
late.
might not be on mute. So if I get a random text of Patrick talking from SpongeBob,
I mean, who's gonna text you this late? Your mother.
my mother maybe.
That's
But
about it.
Other than that, but it'll be Patrick from SpongeBob.
Yeah. So Friendly's in the UK. He doesn't physically show up on screen, but my man is everywhere. He's everywhere. He's all over the place in a whole bunch of different streams. He's a cartoon character. I love him. He's great. He's the friendly Muslim. You know what I mean? It's great. I love the character. I told him one day we got to animate you and, figure out how to have a 3D you while
Okay.
you're going. But, anyway,
Anyway,
that's just a little side thing about Friendly. What up,
So-
Friendly? My man.
so you were in this meeting.
So I was in the
kids
meeting.
Would not. I sound echoey to me for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, so and it just sounds weird, like the reverb back in my ears. Anyway,
I don't know what to tell you, bro. I mean,
it's I don't know. Anyway, it's maybe I'm just tired.
I think you're just tired, bro. I
really-
didn't do anything new to
really
this.
exhausted. Also, fasting is getting my lips freaking chapped.
Oh yeah, you're Chappie McGee.
And so are yours. And then you were like desperately looking for the bliss deck.
I'm super Chappie McGee. Yeah, yep. It's.
I think it's because honestly, I don't think I'm drinking enough water, and I should be drinking more. It is what it is. Oh, speaking
Yeah.
of, where'd it
you
go?
have a water
I
right
do, but
there
I lost
somewhere.
it. I found it. Yay!
Yay! 10 points for found water.
Hashtag blind people problems.
Hashtag blind people problems. You guys can use that hashtag if you want Only if you're blind,
Mm-hmm.
though.
Seriously. Oh, look, here's my son's dry erase marker for his dyslexia
For his
therapy.
dyslexia therapy. So yeah, it's been super busy, guys, right? Like we've been running these live taraweehs every day. We've been running the live Quran streaming every single day. They're both live streamed on YouTube and on Zoom, of course. And it is just beyond exhausting. And we're not even on camera. It's just I'm just running all the back end stuff, making sure everything is running
And so,
smoothly.
and then when there's technical difficulties, I'm kind of
Oh,
managing
it's like
between
Dita's talking to blind
group-
groups,
right
right?
to make sure that they know like this is
to
happening.
blind
Everybody
Muslim
be
groups.
patient and managing all that.
And I'm like scrambling, trying to make sure everything's
he's the
okay.
tech guy, so that the
what's-
sheikh can have a really smooth, as much of smooth time coming up on camera and things
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, so it's been a lot, guys. Not to mention all of the Islam by Touch promotion. We really got to promote hard because you just get exhausted from. All right, so we said we were going to talk about this, right? This exhaustion thing.
yeah,
So there's a couple of factors that go into this exhaustion, into this hustle culture, right? We
culture.
stay in this hustle culture. And right now it's like, if you're not hustling, if you're not killing yourself 23 hours a day, bro, then you're not doing it right.
yep.
And that's just not how we're supposed to live, man.
No, we're not meant to be for that.
And it's so right now, we're doing our Ramadan fundraising for Islam by Touch. And it's so nerve-wracking, right? Because you just want to raise enough money. You want to go past surviving,
yeah,
right? You need to get past surviving, because if you are just constantly surviving, you may continue to offer services. You may continue to do good work, but you are literally running yourself into the ground.
Also, you're not going to grow. You're not going to be able to offer more, and you're not going to reach the potential that you really could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so then it becomes a disservice to the community, and it becomes a disservice to yourself. And then on top of that, there's the pressure of maintaining the family life
Yeah.
and making sure that your kids all of their needs are met, spiritually, physically, all of that.
Emotionally,
Emotionally.
that you spend time with them.
Right.
And the thing, it's like, okay, so how can we fix this?
Oh
Okay,
yeah, hold on.
well,
And then if you're married and you have kids and you have to devote time to your relationship with your spouse, and you have to make sure that's healthy. And after all of that, if there's time, you can make sure you can take care of yourself. But if not, too bad. And so you just
Yeah.
run yourself down emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, all of it. And it's just not healthy. Like I got an email from some shopping website, Muslim shopping, like for women's clothing or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And it was like talking about how they were thanking I guess, I don't know, someone sent them an email or something. Anyway, but they have a planner. And so they were like, make sure you take advantage of our Ramadan planner so you can make sure you're as focused and as productive, both physically and spiritually, as you can be. And it's kind of just like, I don't know that everybody has the energy to be on all the time. Like there has to be a point when you can say, I'm not going to be on right now. And I don't mean like just, with YouTube and all that stuff like that. I mean, in general, in life, like I need actual time to actually rest. And I got to actually voicemail, and I have to get back to her and thank her for that reminder a lot, because in her message, she said, make sure that you take time to actually rest.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can't be all work. You have to actually take time. And that's really what kind of dawned on me. Like, I don't think I really take time to rest. I don't remember the last time I just rested.
When's the last time you rested and did nothing? When we went to the cabin?
Back in June?
We went to the cabin. We recorded podcasts, but we were just chilling recording
Right.
podcasts. We didn't have anything else. We were just relaxing.
And it was like hours of
I think
rest.
I did a little tiny bit of work because somebody reached out to me or something, but
it was like
not
mostly,
much.
it was pretty much.
We literally just chilled.
Right.
For
And
a
so
few
when
days.
when we were able to record, it was still a very relaxed type of,
Mhm.
and that was great. But that was almost a year ago. And I'm
Yeah.
not even saying like we need time away from the kids and whatever, like literal, just, I'm just going to sit here and do nothing, even just like sleep in or do nothing, literally nothing. But it just doesn't happen that way, especially when you have kids and they're younger. Either you're on for work or you're on with the family, and we're both working parents, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And we homeschool them.
And we homeschool them, yes. Homeschool is
And so,
that takes up a lot of time
and
as well.
before I know this is probably going to sound harsh or whatever,
Dita, you're harsh.
but I
Stop
don't
being
wanna,
so harsh.
Like, I don't want to hear, well, this is what you signed up for, because I remember being pregnant one time, and I walked in the middle. I was pregnant with Sumaya, and she was born in September, and so it was like July, and so I was hugely pregnant, diabetic, exhausted, had 3 other children to manage,
Mm-hmm.
and we were getting ready to move at the end of that year. So I was run down and you could see it in my face. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I came in just exhausted, and they asked me, "How are you?" And I said, "I'm just tired." And a bunch of women got up and gave me their seats, and one of them was just like, "Oh, well, I mean, you're the one who wanted to get pregnant and have kids." And I swear to God, it took
It took everything in you.
not to lose it. But one of the other women was like, "No, just come sit here. You want water? You want whatever?" Like, you know what I mean? Just like
No, don't rip somebody's head off,
right,
please.
like,
This
because
is not
it was
the
like
time.
that is not the thing to say to a very heavily pregnant woman with, you know what I mean? That it is that is extremely insensitive. So yes, I know this is what I signed up for. I know that I have 4 children. I know that I choose to have a career, which I don't have to, but I choose to do so. I know that I choose to homeschool on top of my career and 4 children. I know I put a lot on my plate, but I also am human, and I have the right to be exhausted and to sometimes say, "Hey, you guys, I'm tired."
Yeah. And the thing is, so what was I trying to say here? So the solution to this hustle culture, right? To this constantly being on and going and going and going is to hire people, right? Is to
Yeah.
hire people to take some of the burden off your plate.
Right.
But the problem is
Well, we don't have the money to hire
you don't have the money to hire people. So you keep hustling
Right.
and running yourself into the ground.
So the goal is, inshallah, to be able to get to the point where we're thriving,
Oh,
and
my
then we
God.
can provide job opportunities for others
Yeah.
so that they can afford, to have good pay and, work. And then that in turn helps us out to
Yeah.
alleviate. So inshallah, that's a goal. This is why it's so important because we don't have like funding from big corporations or anything like that.
No.
It's all community based. So it's so important for the community, inshallah, to fund, to donate, even become a sustainer, even
Yeah,
$5 a month.
Really, like if
Like
we
legit,
can
a
get,
coffee costs more than that.
if
You know
we
what I
can
mean?
get like, if we could get like 2,000 to 3,000 people
Right.
to give $5 or $10 a month,
Right.
Oh, that'd be
Just once a month. Like,
amazing.
it's like if you just went and bought yourself a cup of coffee
You know
or
what I
something.
mean?
You know what I mean? That would be amazing because it would help us.
Like think about it. How
along.
much is how much is your cinnamon dolce latte from Starbucks?
I
By the
don't
way,
know.
that's Yadita's preferred coffee from Starbucks. So
Yeah.
if you see her
If that's my
at a
coffee.
convention or something,
It's the cinnamon
you want to
dolce
get her a
latte
coffee, cinnamon dolce latte
with extra stevia.
with extra stevia.
Yeah.
So like how much does that cost? Like $7, $8?
Like $8.
Like
Yeah.
$8, bro. I just need 2,000 people every month to give me $8.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
How
then
much is that?
it would
That'd be like $16,000 a month.
but that would
Psh,
and then
man,
on top
what?
of the fundraising we're doing, we could actually keep moving. You know what I mean? Inshallah. So that's kind of a goal, and inshallah I'll keep making dua. And so other than that, let me see. You asked me what else have I been doing.
But yeah, no, I just wanted to kind of comment on this hustle culture thing. So yeah,
what else have I been doing? You asked me real quick.
What?
You asked me what else was I doing.
Yeah. What else you been doing? Living your hustle culture life.
Well, I've also been trying to carve out time to read from the English translation that we did, a juz a day, which right now, because I haven't been able to meet that goal today, I'm feeling super guilty
Yeah.
because I only got to do 7 or 8 pages maybe.
Yeah.
And then the kids kept interrupting, and not that they were misbehaving or anything, but it's always mama this, mama that, mama, can you do this? Mama, can you do that? Can I have this?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Let me show you this, and I want to show you that. And so there's always something. And then, so I didn't carve out as much time as I would have liked to for that. And so now I'm feeling super guilty about that, which I shouldn't, because I'm doing what I can
Yeah.
on top of everything else that we do for work, inshallah, that's benefiting us and the community.
Yes.
But now I feel bad because I didn't get to accomplish that. Oh, and I did some laundry.
You did some laundry.
I did some laundry,
Yep.
which had to get done. And I put laundry away,
Yep.
which
Can
had
we
to be
move
done.
that laundry that's in the washing machine to the dryer?
Oh, no, I got to do
Oh
that.
God, here we
So-
go. Something else on the plate.
Of course,
You
grooming
know?
the dog,
Mhm.
that takes time, and that has to get done in order to keep her clean. And these are just like small things that keep adding up. And at some point, I just want to sit.
Yeah. And she's doing all that stuff. I'm helping any way I can, but then it's like every time.
Oh wait, and I went shopping.
That's right.
I did a lot of shopping
It's like
for food and things like that, like
it's-
paper towels and all the things we need in the house.
It's like every time I feel like I completed one task, I have 3 other tasks I have to do.
Yep.
And
And we're not complaining. We're not saying that.
No. Hey, listen.
that we're like-
alhamdulillah, we do the best we can with what we can do.
And alhamdulillah,
right?
we have work.
But-
And alhamdulillah, we have these things. But again, we're human, and
Yeah.
it's
And I'm someone that it's hard for me to say no to someone.
yeah.
Right? Especially if I can actually do it.
Unfortunately, I'm kind of the same way. And
I don't like saying no to people. Like if I could get it done,
right.
and I can help you, I like helping.
Yeah.
Why not? So
You went to the post
alhamdulillah,
office.
I went to the post office to ship out gift
For a
gift
friend of ours.
to a friend of ours. Yes, that's having a baby. May Allah make that baby strong and righteous.
Ameen.
And all of our babies strong and righteous.
Ameen.
So yeah, man, hustle culture, guys. So if you're in the middle of this hamster wheel, please try to take a stop off and just chill out for a
And
day
then
or
don't
two.
feel bad or guilty
Don't feel bad about
for
it.
just saying I need a little bit of time for myself.
Yep. Don't do that. Please don't do that. We all need some time
And
to just relax.
I give that advice first to myself because
Mhm.
I'm really horrible at following that piece of advice.
Yep. And tomorrow it's just,
Well, tomorrow Noah has the dyslexia therapy.
Noah has dyslexia therapy. I got an appeal. I may have to record some videos. Bunch of other things.
Right. And
So
I got a bunch of other things I got to
yeah.
do.
So alhamdulillah, guys. We're not, like I said, I'm not trying to complain here. We're really not. But this is our outlet, right? You guys are our family. This is where we get as real as humanly possible, with you guys. So we're having a conversation, right?
But I think it's an important one because we're not the only ones who are under that pressure of that hustle culture.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's do as much as you can in terms of a career and don't stop, or even spiritually and don't stop.
Yep.
And you know what's insane to me though, that all that advice goes absolutely, it's counterintuitive to what Islam says, because we're supposed to be walking the middle path in all aspects of life.
Yep. Absolutely. And I think things always end up on some extreme, right?
Yeah.
It's constantly on some extreme, and someone is always trying to pull us, someone is trying to pull us, and by us I mean us collectively, right? As human
people.
beings, as people, as citizens of the world, pretty much. They're always trying to pull us to one side of the extreme.
Right.
It's like you have so many divisive things, right? And it's crazy because as Muslims, like, we agree with some things and we disagree with other things on the same side, right?
But again, like you said,
we have to follow that middle path. We have to constantly remind ourselves, like, bro, we don't live in extremes.
No. And even in our own lives, like, your career shouldn't be taking up every minute of your time, and neither should your kids. Neither should your relationship. You have to be able to, even when was it? Because
like the main
what was
focus.
You can't even, like, your body has a right on you. So praying night and day, this is not even something
exactly
you're supposed to do.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Even when it comes to deen and when it comes to putting that into practice, you have to be balanced about it. It feels like in this day and age, that's not encouraged or even looked good upon. You know what I mean? If you set those boundaries and say enough is enough, you're looked at, you're not doing enough. You're not being productive enough. You're not pushing enough, hard enough.
Yeah.
You have to do more. You have to do more. And that's really, again, Islam doesn't teach that. So I don't know. It's just advice I give to myself and to everyone else. Let's just stop and think about that for a minute and take some time for ourselves to recoup and to,
move forward, right?
Yeah. Recoup, rest, reflect, connect with Allah, and then move forward.
Yeah, may Allah make it easy for all of us. I mean. So, all right. So a couple other interesting things we can talk about here. Dita, this is kind of piggybacking off of our culture versus Islam conversation that we had a couple weeks back.
Okay.
But
was
let's
it a
talk
couple weeks or
about
last week? I'm so tired, I don't remember.
No, last week we did like Ramadan is here,
something like that. Okay,
something like that.
Yeah.
So you were looking. How'd you see this post, by the way? Where'd you see this thing?
I was on Google and they had like this article about like big box retail stores starting to sell Ramadan/Eid decorations.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got like this text message from Party City, and then when you click on, like, telling me to.
So what did you think you were going to see when you got that text message?
I don't know. It was like say 15%, and so I was like, okay, on what? You know what I mean?
But what did you think? You told me you thought it was for something
like
else.
Easter.
You thought it was for Easter, yeah,
Right.
because Easter is next Sunday. I want to think
Something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was like a big Ramadan banner, so that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with it. Because if I wanted to get some quick decorations,
Listen to the kids still being awake.
I know they think
It's like 12 something.
12.
It's like 12 something by us. AM.
Right.
And I guarantee it's
they swear
Abdullah.
that they're being
Think
sneaky.
he's sneaky, but I can hear everything.
Right.
It's so funny.
Anyway.
Okay, so you saw this on Ramadan banner. You said you don't have a problem with it.
Which I don't, because if I need some quick decorations, I have no problem with doing that. And I like to decorate the house, and I'm lacking on that, and I feel bad for that too. But here we are. So, but I saw that, and in the article there was this, I can't remember her name, the one who said the quote, but this one woman who said that these are great, but we have to keep in mind, and her exact things, her quote was something along the lines of, so not exact, but something along the lines of, you can't put a palm tree and a camel on everything and say, this is, Ramadan/Eid decorations, because that's not representative of all Muslims.
Exactly.
And she specifically said, this isn't going to represent a Mexican Muslim. This isn't going to represent, and she listed a couple different ethnicities/races/nationalities or whatever that are not typically associated with Islamic influence or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we're here, and I think for me that strikes a chord, because as a Puerto Rican, that's always something that really stands out for me. If you ever, for anyone who's Puerto Rican, we all know what it is, right? But if you meet Puerto Ricans, you'll know that we are fiercely Puerto Rican, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't know Spanish,
just like us Palestinians.
yeah. Even if you don't know the language, even if you've never been to the island, you're raised to be fiercely Puerto Rican.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in you. And I do know the language, and I have been to the island. But
I mean, palm trees would work for a Puerto Rican Ramadan.
right.
Just instead of camels, put some coquis up in there.
But we need, okay, but our palm trees have, like, the coconuts. And
Okay, yeah. So just make the dates a little bigger, right?
a lot bigger?
And color them brown.
a lot bigger, you mean?
Wait, are dates brown? I've never looked at the color of a date.
I want to say they are, because,
Wow.
there was a book, and it was called, like,
Datey McDatey
No.
pants.
something about lanterns and
Okay.
golden domes
Golden
and
domes
silver
and silver
lanterns.
lanterns, yes.
I think at one point they mentioned a date, the color of the date, because it was like a Muslim book of colors, something like that.
That was a
I
nice
used,
book.
yeah, I did. I used, but the kids all outgrew it. But I used that book with all the kids, and actually, that's one of the tools I used to teach them.
We brailled it.
Yeah,
I had it braille. We brailled it. What are you talking about? Like
had
I
it
sent
brailled.
this out to the Braille Company of America,
No.
and they brailled it for me and
We
sent it
brailled it.
back. No,
Actually, that book
we
was
did
brailled
that.
old school. I typed it up on
Yeah.
an old school braille machine.
Yep, and I cut it together with I cut it up with with like one of those slidey
Yep, the sliding paper cutters. those-
yeah.
And we did it
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
we did that.
The
That
good
was
old days
fun.
before we had access to braille embossers.
Yep.
Anyway, so yes, I think they're brown. So but yes, it's a totally different, and there's nothing wrong with that culture. I'm not saying that there's, you know what I mean, but it's not an overarching.
It doesn't represent
No.
all
It
Muslims.
sure doesn't,
all over the
because
world.
in this house, like, we didn't, one of the things I made were empanadillas, and the kids devoured those things, right? But that's because we're Puerto Rican, well, and Palestinian here too. But I'm the one doing all the cooking. so-
Palestinian Rican.
right. So most of the food we eat is Puerto Rican because I'm the one cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some other Puerto Rican dishes still frozen. It's just what got to me was that she was just saying
Do
this
you have
isn't.
steamed hams?
I don't. I still have to watch that episode.
Steamed hams.
Oh,
Steamed
Aurora
hams.
Borealis.
Where's that from? Oh, that's a New York dialect. What part? Upstate. I'm from Utica. I never heard of steamed hams. It's more of a, what do you say?
I think it
Oh,
was like a family thing.
no.
Something like that.
No. It's more of a Rochester something.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Something. Poughkeepsie.
Albany?
Albany. It's more of a Albany slang term
I see.
for hamburgers that you call steamed hams,
Right.
which are obviously grilled.
That's such a great episode. Okay. Yeah, so I thought it was interesting. And then I didn't think that
Which you did make steamed hams.
I did.
Well, I grilled them up, so
You did.
I made
but
steamed hams.
I seasoned
You
them,
put them
stuffed
together
them.
and stuffed them and seasoned them and stuff. But
Yeah, and then I handed them over
steamed
to
hams.
the girl. I thought it was interesting. Also, when I'm reading this article, I just didn't even realize it was going to be something so divisive, because there were so many people who were like, "Oh, this is commercializing it," and there were others who were like, "No, this is representation," and others were like, "No, this is taking away from what you're supposed to do," and other ones were like, "But this is bringing the spirit of like joy, and it's really good for the kids." And it was just like, it's just decorations. If you want to use them, use them. If you don't.
Don't. That's
You know
it.
what I mean?
Exactly. And then
It's-
we're gonna have some douchebag in the comments saying, "This is Bidar, brother,"
Like we had with the Tarawih.
like we did with the Tarawih. It's like, bro, I shut him down though. He did not reply.
Yeah.
He did not
Also,
reply. This is
did you
Bidar,
see-
brother.
and the
Like,
other
yo,
comment-
come on, man.
Did you see the other comment?
Which one?
That was
The
like,
one that-
Tarawih is basically just reading Quran and focusing without distraction. I do that all day, every day during Ramadan. Good for you, but that's not what Tarawih is actually. It's like those prayers, and I'm not gonna argue with you.
Yeah.
I don't answer.
You know
I
what
don't-
the worst thing about today's society is?
Everybody has to have an opinion and have it heard.
Everybody has to have an opinion and have it heard and post it so everyone else can hear it and see it. And what's going to happen is, guys, and I want you to think about this, is we are all setting ourselves up for a fall on
Yeah.
Judgment Day, bro. Because it is
You don't
just,
need to interact with everything that annoys you, by the way. You
Wow.
literally can just walk away from that and say, okay, you know what I mean? I'm going to move on. If this person is physically in front of you and they've annoyed you,
especially if you're trying to put like an Islamic tilt on it.
Right.
Like that's
But
when
even
you really.
even if this person is not online and they're physically in front of you, you still do not have to interact with that. You
Yeah.
can choose to just be like, okay, whatever, like that's fine, and then change the conversation or just excuse yourself and be done with that interaction. You
Yep.
don't have to engage with all of that. Again, another like kind of extreme, right? Like you always have to be heard? Do you always have to say
You always
what
need
you
to.
think?
Yes.
You know?
It's funny. It's like we lost our filter,
Yeah.
right?
And everybody thinks that their opinion is the most important. And I'm glad people, you think you're important, and it's wonderful. And everybody has a level of importance, right? But
People are gonna say, "Is it this irony? You guys are on a podcast, literally sharing your opinion."
we are, and that's because we choose to do it. And if you know what I mean,
Do we feel that our opinions are so important that we have to share them on a podcast?
I
What do
don't
you
think so. I think for us, it's more of a release, and we could kind of
I think this
to
like
talk and
the whole
relax and
point of
laugh and
this-
chill and
The whole point of this is to let people see us outside of our main roles in
Right.
the public sphere. B, let blind people hear us talk and just know, like, yeah, look, we share the same feelings that they may feel on certain topics. C, know that we're more than just blind people, right? We have
I definitely
way
agree
more
with
than
all of
that.
those, and even especially with the last one, where all of them I think are equally important. That representation for the blind community is
D,
awesome.
so I can have a place to give Simpsons references,
Right. Also,
and
I
play
would
with
say
my
E,
board.
right, and play with your board.
Play with my board, which I haven't played with all
You
day.
haven't.
I haven't done anything. I don't know what to press
Yes,
on
you
it.
did. Lies.
Oh, well, I just
This morning
played.
in the meeting, because you also had a meeting this morning.
Okay, that was this morning in the meeting. That wasn't.
That's what
that-
you do. Wait, that sounds like so
You know?
unprofessional. In a
Yeah.
meeting.
I was
He
in a
playing-
meeting, and I was just like.
Right. That's exactly what you were doing. Literally.
Oh God, I'm so bad.
Also, in your meeting yesterday, you were using my song, and you're trying to be serious, and I'm like, I'm going to sue you. And
Yeah, that's right.
in the background. Because we're that professional. The thing is, right, if we
Oh,
don't find moments
God.
to laugh and make
We are
humor,
going to go
we're
insane.
gonna go insane. So,
Exactly.
so he's trying to talk seriously. I'm like, you're using my song. I'm going to sue you.
Yeah.
And I kept just talking, and he's like,
And I'm
"Shut
trying to
your
just focus and try to get this done.
And so he turns around, he's like, shut up. And I'm like, I will not.
I will
Never.
I will sue you.
I will sue you. So that was
I'll
me.
sue you in England.
Right.
10 points to whoever gets that reference.
So yeah, so
By the way, the point system here means absolutely nothing.
No.
Okay,
Okay,
if you're
so you've
if you're
been
George,
saying-
hold on. If you're George listening to this podcast, or if you're Ahmed listening to this podcast, not Ahmed my brother, but hey Ahmed my brother, what's up? If you're Ahmed listening to this podcast and you're like, I got like 120 points, do I get a prize? No,
no, it's
you
just,
don't get a prize.
Nadir has been saying 10 points for I can't even remember when he
I've been
started
awarding
it.
points for the longest. It's just a part of my lingo.
Wait, it's
and
so
life.
much so that my kids are like, all right, 10 points, mama. And I'm
This point system that means nothing. I'm trying to think what other point system means nothing. There's other kind of point. I think it was like, whose line is it anyway? It's like for 1,000 points, you have to
Right.
win this.
award
Oh,
shows.
boy.
They mean nothing because they're all
They
bought.
mean nothing. They're all bought.
They really are. There's literal campaigns and like award shows, everything from Oscars to Grammys.
To the
they're
Grammys.
all bought.
I mean, listen, if Bad Bunny is like a 3-time Grammy Award
Yep.
winner and all this, then you know it's all
It
rigged.
just tells you that actual talented
God.
artists are never going to really make it anywhere.
God, he's terrible.
So-
Oh, he's just terrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible.
Anyway,
I feel
forgot my
bad for you
point.
for being Puerto
I
Rican.
know, he's-
but you know, I got DJ Khaled, so
There we go. It's even. Yay.
it's even. It's even.
What were we saying?
We were talking about the whole divisiveness and how everyone
Oh,
has
yeah.
an opinion.
So
we were talking about the banner. It all started,
It started
with
with the
banner.
Ramadan banner. Oh yeah, and so that's what we were saying, the representation and that we are
Mm-hmm.
not one dimensional. I think I've said that before in another episode.
Yeah, no,
Like,
we were
there's
talking
so
about
much
the,
more to us than blindness.
No,
And-
when we were talking about how you literally saying everyone has to have an opinion,
I know, but then you went down through A, B, C, D.
and then
remember?
we were talking about why we have this podcast, and people were like, "Oh, is it that hypocritical that you would think that, but then you have a podcast?"
Yeah. But then we explained why. And then
yeah.
one of the things, like I had said, was like, we're not one dimensional. We kind of just want you to see that we're actual people.
Yeah.
So that's it's not because we're like, my opinion is so wonderful and I'm going to share it. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really not. It's just my
You
opinion.
will listen to me, whether you like it or not.
They will see
They
us.
will seat us.
They will.
They will. They will.
God.
My opinion matters.
That was great, actually. So no, it's not because of that. You know, it's our opinion. You can take it or leave it. It's
Oh,
not. It's
God.
neither here nor there. We're just sharing our thoughts. And you know what? But that's the other thing that has become really divisive. If you're going to share your thoughts, there is no longer sharing of thoughts in a healthy discussion. It always has to become
Oh,
an
there's
argument.
no more debate. There's like healthy debate, healthy
discussion.
discussion. Yeah.
No, it becomes
No.
this really divisive, argumentative type of debate, and it's all about I'm right, you're wrong. It's not about okay, this is where I'm bringing my points, you're bringing your points, and then you kind of try to make someone understand or not.
No.
It's not even about making so. It's just about like okay, we had a discussion and it was healthy, and we shared our viewpoints, and now we're going to move on. No, it's I'm right, you're wrong.
And we can respectfully, agree to disagree.
Exactly, and
right?
but it's not like that anymore. And now
No.
and
there's just some things you just can't talk about.
Right. And you have to
just
be,
can't
I
talk
was literally
about.
going to say that. You have to be so careful about what you're going to say because it might offend someone. And it's like, but I just want to be able to talk,
Yep.
And everyone who's getting offended, you feel you have the right to talk. And I'm not going to take that away from you. But then I should have the same, right and the same space to do that. But
especially where we're at, you know what I mean? Like there's some things maybe you just shouldn't talk about, but if it's being brought up
right.
and where we're at.
Well,
like,
here's the
bro,
thing.
Come on.
And even when it comes to like blindness, do you think there are things that there are misconceptions and myths that are really not okay to hear, but people are going to say them anyway, and so it's
And then whenever you call them out on their BS, they're like, God, why you got to be like that?
exactly. But you had the right to say what you wanted, correct? So now
Yeah.
I'm going to explain to you why that might not be okay, or this is where I'm coming from. You can take it or leave it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's no longer again back to just everything has to be really extreme, and that gets very, very exhausting.
It's so exhausting.
That is
man.
very mentally draining
It's
and emotionally
so
draining.
exhausting. And it's just it's funny, man. I mean, let's talk about this. Are we done with this topic here?
Probably. What's the next thing you want to talk about?
Let's talk about what happened at that school, that Christian school in Tennessee.
Oh yeah, with the shooting.
With the shooting, man. So it's crazy, right? Because you see this it's obvious why this person went to a Christian school and shot up the school, right?
if you look further before you continue,
Okay.
they really haven't declared any motives or anything like that.
Yeah.
Now, my stance on this is okay.
Yeah.
There are certain parts of the story that a lot of things that, like, especially like the liberal side, have just decided to gloss over, and that's fine. Everybody has their thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that I try to maintain my faith as best as I can. But the real issue is here, like there's 3 kids that were 9 years old that died.
Yeah.
And 3 adults, which is also sad. They're 3 adults, but I keep focusing because they're roughly my kids' ages, and I cannot think that like everything else is going to overshadow that.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to overshadow any topic, no matter what it is, on any side of the aisle, is going to overshadow the fact that 3 9-year-olds, I don't care what faith they were 3 9-year-old children
Halas, they died innocent,
that
bro.
died.
It doesn't matter.
And
what they
and
believed
everybody
in.
is going to have their thing to say on one thing or another, on one divisive topic or another.
Yeah.
And these kids just became another number, and everybody.
Which, by the way, we take the Islamic stance.
Right.
Period.
We take the Islamic stance, and
there is no nuance on that stance.
We take the Islamic stance, and this is what Allah has said, and I'm not going to argue with my Creator because I'm not going to do that.
I'm not doing that.
I have enough sins on my plate.
I'm not doing that, son.
I am flawed enough. But I think what angers me the most out of this whole
you go
thing,
to Judgment Day and have that discussion. I'm not.
But what angers me out of this whole thing is that on one side or another, everybody's going to grab onto a point and forget about the fact that there are 3 children that lost their lives. There are 3 families that no longer have that child with them. And that pain is not something that you can just say, I'll get a new puppy and I'll be okay.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Imagine those parents, man.
This is what I'm saying. I can't even. I can, and I know before, people die, kids die all the time in wars and things like that. That affects me the same. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But in this country,
and of course we leave it, we know it's the will of Allah.
Right.
And it's Allah's wisdom that declares this.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
But in this country, there are things that
it.
can be done.
But bro, there's how many school shootings were there so far?
I don't know, but we're like up to 129 mass shootings.
Bro, it's
April 1st.
April. This year,
right.
2023, bro.
And in
that
this
is
country,
insane.
there's things that can be done
to
avoid all of that. And it's not because everything, and I mean everything, has become political, even the actual, like down to the essence of life. Yeah. And that's sad. That to me is just really sad because, again, I just keep focusing on those 2 little girls and that little boy that died. And
is that who died?
Yeah.
2 little girls.
It's 2 little girls and a little boy, and they were all 9 years old.
Yeah.
And in that school, they would have been no older than 12 because it was only up to 6th grade. So you were literally harming babies. And it's just, I have no mercy for somebody like that. Like I'm, you know what I mean? I have no empathy, no sympathy for somebody like that. They were
And
children. I don't.
like,
Children are just off limits. You know what I mean? I don't
a
care
lot
where
of people
you
would
stand.
say, a lot of people say this, right? So you got one side saying it's the guns. That's the problem. The guns are
Right.
the problem. The other side is saying, this is,
Guns aren't the issue. It's people that are the
it's
issue.
people that are the issue, right? Like it's people that are the issue. You let crazy people get
Right.
guns and all that stuff. And the thing is, like, this person, right? This person, I think, was already was known to have issues.
Well, yeah, they were being treated for emotional.
And the thing is, like,
problems.
bro, if this person's being treated for that,
Why did you?
don't let them get a gun.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think that's pretty obvious.
And like I said, I don't care.
Like, listen, there's no guns in my house because we're blind and it's not going to be a good look, right?
I don't care if you could see. I grew up in the projects where
Yeah.
shootouts happened all the time, and I
You
know
want to tell
what it
stories
is.
about your shootouts in the
I know what
projects?
it is.
How you have to drop?
Yes, down to your belly and crawl onto the floor to the
Mm-hmm.
more further, like the room furthest in the back, away from the windows where the shootout was happening, until your mom tells you it's okay
Yeah.
to come out. No, there's no guns in my house because bullets don't have names.
Yeah.
And that happened more than once. That's
And
just not.
I can see the reason for people who are responsible, who don't have, mental or
I'm
emotional
not here to say whether you
issues
should or shouldn't have.
to,
I'm not
it's
going
all
to give
right.
my
I get
opinion.
it.
You know what I mean?
Do your thing.
Right. But in my
But-
house, that's just not something we're going to do. We can't see. But besides from that fact, I got some really traumatic memories, and I'm just not going down that road.
Yeah. We got a lot of swords, though. A lot of
Swords are
sharp,
cool.
a lot of swords and sharp things.
I like swords. And
I don't know. Yeah, I could see that sword behind me hanging on the wall. But yeah, and the thing is, right? The thing is you can see, I mean, agree with me or not, wife, right? But it seems like these people, Alphabet Mafia, it seems like they get a lot of leeway, in my personal opinion, right? Like, think about it, bro. If this was a regular, all right, let's talk about the left, right? If this was a regular, white dude that shot up a place, left would be going all over the place saying, oh, it's the right wing and they have this propaganda and all that stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the right wing are kind of going to the extreme and the opposite at the same time here. But it's crazy how after this, or actually at the vigil, right? They had a vigil for them.
Mm-hmm.
And there were activists saying that 7 people died that day. There were 7 tragedies. Defending the person who killed these
this
innocent
person
people, bro.
was gunned down by
Wow.
the cops because they were killing babies. They were killing
Wow.
innocent young children. This is what Allah had.
Like, this
You know,
is
of course,
ridiculous,
this is in
bro.
Allah's, infinite wisdom, and I believe in all this. But you do not have the right to take another person's life because you just feel like it.
Like, right from wrong, I think is
Especially-
very clear.
Especially
You know what I mean?
the life of a child just because you feel like it. It doesn't work that way. And it really gets me angry because at the end of the day, again, I don't care what side of the issue you're standing on. Everybody is taking away from the fact that there are children that died.
Yeah.
I don't care about anybody else's issues or political issues or what you think. I need you to think about the fact that there are children that died and no one's doing anything about it. And you know what the scariest part is? More kids are going to keep dying at the hands of gunmen because no one's going to do crap about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to be here in a couple of weeks with the same story
Bro.
in a different location.
Over 120 stint till now. I don't think it's gonna even be a couple weeks. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how often it happens. And wallahi, that shows you, man. Well, that shows you kind of the downfall of society, right? The absolute lawlessness, the fact that nobody has any shame anymore, the fact that people are just, doing all of this outlandish stuff out in the street, the fact that there is no worth in life anymore.
And like,
SubhanAllah,
it's
man.
going to sound, again, controversial, but like, I'm so sick of hearing,
Wife, you rock that controversy. Go ahead.
I'm so
Do I have
sick
my
of
fitted
hearing.
hat? Oh, I just knocked my water down, but it was closed. Alhamdulillah. Is my hat
Did you
here?
spill your coffee today?
No,
Okay.
I did not.
You spill it like all the time.
I can't
and you
find-
have a cup with it that you
I
can
thought.
close.
Shut up. I thought my fitted hat was here. I was gonna put on my controversy hat, but I don't have it.
Okay, anyway.
It's over there. Darn it.
And thoughts and prayers, and again,
I'm sick of this.
I'm so sick
crap.
of thoughts and prayers.
Just
so sick of it.
Thoughts
Do
and
something
prayers
about
for
it.
that family,
And-
and then
and
the
these-
atheists are saying like best wishes and thoughts. It's
right.
like, bro, it's the same difference. Just shut up.
I don't care who's saying what. Do something about it. Just stop allowing children and innocent people to just get gunned down because
Yeah.
you know,
And the thing
everybody
is,
has
nothing will actually get done because everyone has their own stupid political
and this is
extreme.
again back to what I was saying. Everybody's grabbing onto whatever they want,
Yeah.
and nobody's focusing on the actual importance and heaviness and gravity of life itself.
Well, this is
And
why
that's the
a
problem.
true Islamic framework is the best framework.
It makes me
Period.
sad and it makes me worried, and I just think
And I mean, I say it's the best framework for society in general. Period. You know what I mean? Like this, bro, society is going down the drain, homie.
and people listen back to the opinion thing, right?
Yeah.
Because people will be like, well, that's what you think, and it doesn't matter. I'm just
Well,
sharing.
like I said, we our overall standpoint is aligned with the Islamic standpoint.
That shouldn't, and again,
And that's
it
not a
shouldn't-
thought.
Well,
That's,
not just only
that's-
that, but that shouldn't come to a surprise as anyone
Yeah.
as a surprise to anyone because we are Muslim and
Muslims,
we're not
bro.
gonna, you know.
We're not gonna divert. We're Muslims and we're not these
I'm not
fluffy
going to.
Muslims.
I'm not going to divert.
not-
from,
I'm
and listen,
not-
and you do you. I got no problem.
I
with
mean,
that.
I'm a little fluffy physically, but you know what I mean.
You do you, right? I'm not. I'm not
Dita,
one of
would
these.
you describe me as fluffy?
I don't know. I'm trying to be.
You're trying to be serious.
I have the energy. I'm sleepy.
All right, again, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
saying, like you do. I'm not the type of person who's
I have
going
to bring
impose.
levity to the situation.
Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be the type of person. I am not the type of person to impose anything on anybody else.
But that's the whole thing, right?
I've never been that way, and I don't plan to be. But
Mm-hmm.
don't be upset with me because I have my beliefs, and you know what I mean. I follow them.
But
and
this is kind of
so
this is kind of the
it. You
issue.
do you, I do me, and then we could just get along.
But this is the issue, bro. Like the thing is like we're not trying to impose our beliefs on anybody, right? We
Mm-hmm.
believe what we believe, and especially here in the West, it should be like, listen, bro, you do you. I'm not gonna oppress you. I'm not gonna treat you any different which
Differently?
way. Just
Right.
don't force me to accept what you're doing.
Right.
Right? Don't force me to do it because
You
I'm
know,
not doing the same to you.
It goes back
But
to
the problem is, hold on. The problem is that if you don't accept it, if you don't say, no, this is right, this is good, this is perfect, then you're all these phobes.
you get labeled
You know
as
what I
a lot
mean?
of different things.
You're all these
But
phobes.
I get back to this, okay?
Which, one more thing. I'm not afraid of any of you. So why are you saying it's a phobia?
Anyway,
I'm not afraid of you, bro. I'm
Listen.
not. Hold on. I'm not afraid of you.
but you're going off topic and you're literally proving the point that I just made.
What?
You are getting also very divisive. Like again,
I'm not divisive.
The focus is the issue. And initially, the focus to me
Okay.
was the kids, and
Yes.
now you're drifting off to something else that wasn't.
Okay, yeah,
It.
you're right.
I don't care. That's the thing. I don't care enough to be like I'm gonna get all upset about it. Just don't force whatever you're believing in or following in on me and mine. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think I learned that lesson really young because when I came to Islam and I embraced Islam, I dealt with a lot of people. It wasn't good enough to say, I don't like what you're doing, and so I can't accept that. So I can't be in your life, and I don't want you in mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have accepted that. Would it have hurt? Yes. Would I have just had to heal through that and grow through it and move on? Absolutely. But what you don't have a right to do is
I
make...
literally had this water in front of me. So long. Where's this water at in my car? Okay, it's not right in front of me. All right, sorry.
Anyway, what you don't...
I think I was just promoting Target water, whatever the hell name. What's this brand?
I have no idea.
Whatever. Target water.
Up and Up, Market Pantry,
Market
Good and
Pantry
Gather.
water.
Anyway,
I literally had this like right next to me, like I was what do they call those stupid, sports endorsement?
oh yeah.
Got
Anyway.
the water right here.
So what I was saying is, so I had to deal with a lot of people. It wasn't enough for them to just kind of walk out of my life. They went out of their way to hurt me, to be cruel, because they did not agree with the choices I had made.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like my choices, and you don't even have to keep me in your life. And I will respect that, and I understand that because I am not going to agree with some of the choices other people may make. And I may not be able to just get past that. And I may be the one who says, listen, I can't get past it. So we're going to have to part ways. And that's it. You go on your way and live your life, and I'll go and live mine. And that's it. I don't even care if it's family. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. But what you don't have the right to do is to hurt someone, to be cruel to someone, to come
Yes.
after them. And so this is why I'm a person who's like, listen, doesn't matter what the issue is. I try to find, I'm doing my very best to stick to Islamic, like traditional Islamic values.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing, and this is what I am teaching my children.
And the thing is, if you don't want to live that way, cool.
Don't.
Do you, bro?
Because that's
I'm
between,
not. You know what I mean?
from my perspective, that's just between you and Allah, and I don't have the right to be like, well, this, that, and get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're screaming like a mad person, no one's going to listen to you anyway.
Yep.
But yeah, I learned that lesson pretty young because I dealt with a lot coming at me when I became Muslim.
Oh yeah, and I mean the thing is, it's if it was just either like I can't deal with this, so I can't be in your life anymore, or it was like, listen, I don't agree with your decision,
Right.
but we can still interact
Right.
and whatever.
Right.
Okay,
And-
but no, it had to. It was malicious
Right.
intent against you just to make you know and feel bad.
Right.
And torture you
Right.
in ways.
And
you know what I'm
so,
saying?
Again, that's not okay. Even,
No, not at all.
you know what I mean? And if at the end of the day, for everybody who's just so divisive on certain topics,
Yep.
right? Remember that Allah is seeing everyone,
Yep.
and your character is of utmost importance, and your actions are being seen by the Creator.
Yep.
So think about how you're going to react and respond with anybody, and then act accordingly. You put Islam first, and then you respond within Islamic guidelines. You know what I mean?
And on that note, we're gonna wrap this up. So, any final words for today?
I'm sleepy.
Okay. She's sleepy.
I'm sleepy, and I'm
Right.
still thirsty.
So, all right, guys. So, thank you so much for joining us today. Make sure you follow us on all of our platforms. So, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe or follow us on the podcast feed on all the different podcast channels except for Spotify, because
Right.
Spotify are jerks.
Right.
They
It's
don't
my
like-
song, Spotify. My
They don't-
song.
They don't like blind people and Muslims, especially blind Muslims. They don't like us.
That's not it at all. Like, not even close. It's my
I don't
song.
know.
Okay, the
Prove me
copyright.
wrong, Spotify.
They literally
Prove
did.
me wrong.
They said
Anyway.
it's the copyright, and the copyright is mine.
And make sure you guys follow Islam by Touch on all of the socials, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on all that stuff. And make sure you guys donate whatever you can. Like I said, we want to get to a point where we don't have to constantly get to a point of surviving every couple of months looking at the bank account and being like, bro, how can we keep this up?
Right.
So make sure you support us in any way. Adida, at the time being, how can people still follow you?
At always Yadira.
At always Yadida, because even when she's sleepy, she is always Yadida. So yeah. All right, guys. Any fun and nothing?
No.
You already gave your final words.
I said
You're
I was sleepy.
All right, guys. My final words are thanks so
Words?
much for joining.
What is words? It was just the way you said it. I'm sorry. I'm so tired.
Anyway, guys, so thanks guys so much for joining us, and make sure you join us next time where we take you behind the blind. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Dum 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 dum.